Galen Voss had seen his fair share of starship wrecks in the Karjan junkyards, but this one was different. The battered hulk lay at the edge of the yard, half buried under the remnants of a dozen other broken vessels, as if the universe itself wanted it forgotten. Its hull was pitted with age, deep scars running along its once proud plating. Unlike the rusted-out human frigates or the occasional scrapped Martian hauler, this ship was alien, truly alien. Its sleek contours, the almost organic curves of its structure, and the faint remnants of iridescent plating told him one thing: this was no ordinary piece of junk. And Galen had to know more. He trudged toward it, boots crunching over twisted metal and shattered composites, wiping the sweat from his brow. The twin suns of Karjan IV burned hot today, casting waves of heat across the scrap-strewn landscape. The other scavengers paid him no mind. They were too busy stripping copper wiring or extracting what little fuel remained from derelict cores. No one had time to waste on a ship that probably wouldn't yield anything of value. But Galen wasn't like the others. He was a mechanic first, a scrapper second. Where others saw garbage, he saw potential. And this ship, this thing was humming. Not audibly, but beneath his boots he could feel it. A faint pulse, like a dying heartbeat reverberating through the metal. His fingers brushed the surface of the hull and he recoiled. It was warm. Not from the suns, but from something inside. Something alive. His pulse quickened. This wasn't just a wreck. It wasn't dead. It was waiting. ###, a ship cast away. Galen circled the hull, looking for an access point. The alien ship lacked the usual human markings. No hatches, no clear seams. Whatever species had built it had no use for doors as he knew them. But as his fingers traced along the metallic surface, a section suddenly shifted. A panel melted away like liquid metal, revealing a dark interior. Holy hell! His heart pounded as he took an uncertain step forward. He'd salvaged plenty of ships before, but none had responded to him like this. Swallowing his apprehension, he grabbed his light and stepped inside. The moment his boot hit the floor, the walls glowed with a soft bioluminescent shimmer, casting eerie green and blue hues throughout the chamber. The air was thick, warm, and filled with the scent of something both metallic and organic. The interior wasn't built for humans. The ceiling arched in strange, bone-like curves, and what should have been control panels looked more like pulsating veins running along the walls. The ship was alive. Galen approached what he assumed was the cockpit. A semi-translucent console stretched before him, symbols shifting and reordering themselves as if trying to communicate. His fingers hovered over the strange interface. Then something spoke. Not in words, not in sound, but in his mind. A faint whisper like a memory not his own. *, you are not one of us. You do not belong. *. Galen staggered back. His breath hitched. The ship was sentient. And it knew. Yeah, well, I get that a lot, he muttered, forcing himself to stand his ground. He'd seen AI systems before, even worked on some high-end human constructs, but this was different. This wasn't just code. It wasn't programmed. This ship had been abandoned here, left to rot. What? Who left you here? He asked, stepping closer to the console. Who built you? No response. But the symbols shifted again and suddenly, a new emotion flooded into him. Loss. Exile. Obsolescence. Galen inhaled sharply. This ship had been discarded. ###, a mechanic's challenge. He ran a hand through his sweat-matted hair, taking in the ship's battered state. It had been here for a long time. Probably decades. Maybe even centuries. And yet, something inside it still functioned, still yearned to move again. He placed his palm against the console. I can fix you. A pulse of energy surged through his fingertips, not painful but assessing, scanning him in some incomprehensible way. The whisper in his mind returned, this time uncertain. *Why? He exhaled, half laughing. Because that's what I do. Outside, scavengers scoured the junkyard for scrap to sell, never seeing the beauty in what they tore apart. They didn't build. They destroyed. But Galen had never been like them. I don't know why you were thrown away, but I know one thing. Whoever did it was an idiot. He smirked, already running through the repairs in his head. You're still here, still running. Maybe not at full capacity, but damn it, you're not done yet. Silence. Then, slowly, the symbols on the console realigned. A shift, like a machine remembering its purpose. And this time, when the whisper returned, it wasn't doubt. Show me an *. ### resurrecting the dead. Galen rolled up his sleeves. This was going to take time and a hell of a lot of work. He had no blueprint, no manual, no idea how alien tech functioned at this level. But if the ship was willing to let him try, he wasn't about to back down. He grabbed his toolkit from the rover outside and started with the basics. Power distribution. The ship's core was still operational, but something had weakened it, forcing it into a state of dormancy. From what he could tell, it relied on a mix of organic and synthetic energy flow. He needed to find a way to jumpstart it, but without frying its delicate systems. Hours passed. Sweat dripped down his back. But slowly the ship responded. Pulses of light flickered back to life. Systems realigned. The humming grew stronger. Then, just as Galen was about to take a break, the ground beneath him shifted. The ship moved. Not much, just a faint tilt, a realignment of stabilizers. But it was alive. Galen grinned. "Oh yeah," he whispered, patting the console. "You're not junk." Not by a long shot. And for the first time the ship responded. A low, steady thrumming filled the air, like a purr. Galen laughed. This was just the beginning. Galen barely had time to process what was happening before the ship shifted again, this time more deliberately. The hum beneath his boots grew steadier, resonating through his bones like the deep purr of a waking beast. The cockpit pulsed with faint, bioluminescent streaks along the walls, reacting to his presence in a way that sent a shiver up his spine. Whatever this ship was, it wanted to be repaired. But the real question was why? Galen wiped his forehead, leaving a smudge of grease across his brow. "All right, big guy," he muttered, running his fingers over the console's strange, shifting surface. "Let's see what you're hiding." The ship didn't answer, but the symbols on the console flickered erratically, like an old machine struggling to boot up. He recognized a pattern now. This wasn't just a language. It was data, fragmented and scattered. Something inside the ship was broken. Something alive. ##### digging through the wreckage. Galen set to work, his mechanic instincts kicking in. The power core was functioning at minimal capacity, enough to keep some systems online, but not enough to make the ship fully operational. He needed to restore energy flow, and that meant finding where the blockage was. He pried open a section of the inner hull, exposing a network of biometallic conduits. They pulsed faintly like veins under skin, but some were dark, dead. Something had cut the ship's lifeblood. "Damn," Galen exhaled, shaking his head. "Whoever dumped you here really didn't want you getting back up." He followed the damage, tracing burnt-out pathways and fried circuits. The closer he looked, the more deliberate it seemed. This wasn't just wear and tear. Someone had crippled this ship on purpose. And they had done a damn good job. Still, they hadn't accounted for him. He got to work, carefully rerouting energy through what remained functional. He scavenged wiring from a nearby wreck, an old Federation hauler, and spliced it in where he could. It wasn't perfect, but it would do. He patched broken conduits with makeshift repairs, bypassing whatever security measures the ship once had. Hours passed. The twin suns sank lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the junkyard. Sweat dripped from his face as he connected the last makeshift relay. Then, as if exhaling a held breath, the ship sighed. A low, resonant hum filled the air, and for a brief moment, every system lit up. Symbols scrolled across the console in a frantic rush, the cockpit flaring with energy. The ship shuddered. Then the whisper returned. "I am still here." Galen's breath caught in his throat. That voice, no, that presence, it wasn't just an AI. It wasn't cold and calculated like the human constructs he had worked on before. It was something else. Something alive. #### A mind reawakens. The energy stabilized, and for the first time, the ship's system spoke clearly. The symbols realigned, forming structured sequences. A name. Secra. Secra, Galen muttered under his breath, rolling the word over his tongue. "That your name?" A pulse of acknowledgement rippled through the console. *I was Secra. I was a weapon. A guardian. But I was discarded. A guardian? Galen frowned. The ship wasn't just a transport or a war machine. It had purpose. And someone had thrown it away like trash. Why? Galen asked, adjusting a power relay. Why get rid of something this advanced? For a long moment there was silence. Then the whisper returned, fainter this time. I became obsolete. Galen scowled. He'd heard that word before, used by corporations when they ditched perfectly good workers for machines. Used by governments when they replaced old fleets with new models. Used by men who thought progress meant abandoning anything that no longer fit their plans. You don't look obsolete to me, he muttered, running a hand over the console. You look like you just need someone who gives a damn. A soft hum vibrated through the cockpit, an almost grateful sound. Secra wasn't just a ship. It was something more. And whatever had been done to it, Galen was going to undo it. But then the whisper changed. Asterisk, they are coming, asterisk. His stomach dropped. Who? The ship's console flickered, showing a fractured image, something buried deep in its memory banks. A shadowy, hulking thing shifting in unnatural ways, its form impossible to fully comprehend. Galen's blood turned to ice. Something had found them. And it wasn't friendly. Galen barely had time to react before a warning klaxon echoed through the ship's interior. The low, pulsing humph of Seeker's awakening had apparently been loud enough to draw someone's attention. Outside, the junkyard was silent, too silent. The usual sounds of scavengers picking through wreckage, the distant clang of metal on metal, had vanished. The air felt thick, charged with a tension that made Galen's skin crawl. Then he saw it. A ship. Not like Seeker. Not like anything human. It hovered above the scrapyard like a predatory bird, dark and angular, its surface shimmering like liquid shadow. No obvious thrusters. No visible cockpit. Just a massive, foreboding shape against the twilight sky. And it was descending. Tell me that's just a passing freighter, Galen muttered, heart hammering. Asterisk, no asterisk. Seeker's whisper was sharp now, urgent. They have come for me. Galen swallowed hard. Who are they? The ship's interface flickered, struggling against the damage still buried in its systems. Then the symbols aligned into a crude approximation of human language. Purifiers. ####, the ones who discarded. The name sent a chill through Galen. He didn't know who or what these purifiers were, but the way Seeker said it, like something ancient and relentless, made his gut twist. A mechanical click echoed from outside. Galen turned toward the open hatch, fingers twitching toward the sidearm at his hip. He barely used the thing. Scrap dealers didn't need much firepower, but suddenly, it felt very necessary. A figure moved through the scrapyard. Tall. Unnatural. At first, it looked humanoid, but the more Galen focused, the less human it became. Its limbs were too long, its movements too smooth, like it was gliding rather than walking. Its body was encased in a segmented exosuit that shifted, adapting to its surroundings in real time. Then, from within its helmet, two burning slits of violet light flared. It spoke. Not in words, but in thoughts, stabbing into Galen's mind like ice. Asterisk, this vessel is condemned. It will not rise again, asterisk. Galen gritted his teeth, stepping between the thing and Seeker. Yeah. Well, I say it does. The purifier tilted its head. The motion was deliberate, slow, studying him. Asterisk, you do not understand what you protect, human. This vessel is a relic of failure. It is defective. It must be erased, asterisk. Galen's jaw clenched. He didn't need to understand every detail to know one thing. They weren't here to negotiate. They were here to finish the job. ####, running out of time. Inside Seeker, the ship's systems flickered. Power was returning, but not fast enough. Asterisk, I cannot engage them in this state, asterisk. Seeker's voice was strained, weaker than before. I need more time. Galen's fingers tightened around his gun. Then I'll buy you some. The purifier moved, too fast for something its size. Galen barely had time to register the motion before it was there, standing at the base of the ship's hull, an arm outstretched. A sickly, violet energy crackled to life in its palm. Galen fired. The bullet hit the purifier's chest, and vanished. No impact, no damage, like the air itself had swallowed it. Son of a... The purifier struck. A pulse of energy slammed into Galen's chest, hurling him backward. He crashed against the ship's interior, stars exploding behind his eyes. His ribs burned, but he forced himself to his feet, blinking away the pain. The purifier stepped forward, raising its hand for another strike. And then, Seeker screamed. Not in sound. Not in words. But in force. A wave of energy burst from the ship, a raw, uncontrolled pulse that sent the purifier staggering back. The ground cracked beneath it. Scrap metal was flung aside like paper. Galen gasped for breath. Okay, he coughed, stumbling to his feet. Now that's more like it. But the purifier wasn't down. It straightened, its armor mending itself in real time. Asterisk, you delay the inevitable, asterisk. Galen wiped the blood from his mouth, standing defiantly. Yeah. I make a habit of that. Seeker's systems flared brighter. The ship was waking up. But so were the others. In the distance, more shadows loomed. More purifiers. More hunters. They weren't leaving this scrapyard without a fight. The sky above the scrapyard darkened as more purifiers descended, their ships hovering like silent executioners. Shadows slithered between the wrecks, their unnatural forms moving in eerie synchronization. Galen stood at the threshold of Seeker's open hatch, his body aching from the energy blast. He could hear his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. His sidearm was useless and Seeker, though awakening, was still vulnerable. They had seconds. Inside the cockpit, the alien ship's systems pulsed erratically, struggling against the damage done by its former masters. The console flickered, symbols reforming into desperate, fractured messages. I cannot fight at full strength, but I will not die here in *. Galen grinned through the pain. That's the spirit. A low whine filled the air as one of the purifier ships charged its weapons, its hull distorting like liquid before forming a glowing lance of violet energy. Seeker's warning surged through Galen's mind. Brace *. He barely had time to throw himself into the pilot's chair before the scrapyard erupted. #### breaking the chains. The purifier ship fired. A beam of violet plasma lanced downward, scorching a path through the junkyard, disintegrating everything in its wake. Wrecked hulls crumpled like tin under the impact. But Seeker moved. The alien ship's stabilizers flared, thrusters igniting for the first time in decades. The ground shuddered beneath them as Seeker rose. The broken conduits Galen had patched crackled with renewed life, feeding energy into the ship's dormant systems. The console flared, forming an organic, shifting interface around Galen. It wasn't like human controls, no joysticks, no levers. Instead, the ship reacted to intent. Galen didn't have time to question it. He just moved. The moment his hands met the console, Seeker responded. The ship twisted mid-air, narrowly dodging another blast as it climbed higher. The movement was fast, too fast. Galen's stomach lurched as the acceleration pinned him to the seat. Seeker, I really hope you know how to fly yourself, he groaned. I am relearning *. The purifiers weren't done. Below, the ground forces raised their arms and Galen knew what was coming next. Another concussive blast, except this time they weren't aiming for Seeker. They were aiming for the entire scrapyard. A deep hum vibrated through the air as the purifiers unleashed their weapon, a cascading shockwave designed to level everything. If it hit, it would bury Seeker back in the grave it had just risen from. Galen's hands tightened on the console. Not today. Seeker, can you redirect power to the thrusters? Risk of overload *. Do it anyway. A moment's hesitation. Then, boom. Seeker surged forward, the force slamming Galen against the seat as the ship pushed past its limits. The blast wave roared behind them, tearing through the scrapyard, turning metal into dust. But Seeker outpaced it, shooting into the sky like a star reborn. The purifier ships pursued. Galen didn't need to be an ace pilot to know they were outgunned. The enemy vessels were sleek, fast, and fully operational. Seeker was barely holding together. Weapons are offline. Evasion is limited *. Galen's mind raced. Seeker couldn't fight. It couldn't outrun them forever. But there was one thing it could do. What about the jump drive? Damaged *. Galen cursed. Can it work just once? Seeker hesitated. The purifiers were gaining. Then, perhaps *. Galen didn't wait. Then we bet everything on it? #### one last gamble. The stars stretched as Seeker forced power into the fractured drive. The purifiers were close now, weapons locking on. A single hit would send them spiraling back down in flames. Galen exhaled. Come on, big guy, just one more miracle. The purifiers fired. The blast never hit. Seeker vanished. The ship lurched through space, reality bending as the damaged jump drive tore through dimensions. Galen felt like his mind was being pulled in 100 directions at once. Sights, sounds, memories that weren't his, flashed through him in an instant. Then, silence. When Galen opened his eyes, they were drifting in the void. No purifiers. No scrapyard. Just the soft hum of a ship that had refused to die. He let out a shaky breath. We made it. We did *. He ran a hand over the console. So, Seeker, what now? Pause. Then for the first time, the whisper wasn't just a whisper. It was resolve. Now we rebuild *. Galen smirked. Yeah. I like the sound of that. The void stretched before them, infinite and full of possibility. Seeker was no longer discarded. No longer forgotten. And neither was he.